Do you think that women carry a gun more than men because women are weak? The answer is no, because based on my public opinion poll, only 9 out of 28 women own a gun and only 4 out of 9 women carry a gun. However, 8 out of 14 men own a gun and 6 out of 8 men carry a gun. Based on my public opinion poll, the results show that more than 90% of responders think that the Second Amendment is important, but there are still some arguments with how the Second Amendment is implemented because of safety and gun control. First, the Second Amendment is important, but there are still some arguments with how it is implemented because of safety. Sometimes the Second Amendment reduces crime, but sometimes it doesn't. Based on the research, gun owners think that the Second Amendment reduces crime, and non-gun owners think the Second Amendment is partially effective at reducing crime, but overall, people think the Second Amendment reduces crime. Ms. Wisniewski, who doesn't have a gun, explained why it doesn't reduce crime.
Theoretically, having guns available to law-abiding citizens could reduce crime by allowing average citizens to help protect public spaces and deter criminals, but I don't know if that's what's actually happening.
The Second Amendment protects on individual lives, but there are still some problems. Based on my research, gun owners think that the Second Amendment helps to protect on individual lives, and some non-gun owners also think it helps to protect. But some non-gun owners think it is mediocre or it doesn't have to protect at all. Here's why people choose that it is mediocre. Ms. Fuller said,
Life. In some cases, yes. In some cases, no. Some people have guns and it backfires on them. And then other people are totally able to protect themselves with that.
Second, the Second Amendment is important, but there are still some arguments with how it is implemented because of gun control. Based on the research, non-gun owners think that only people who wants to have a gun need a gun education because they don't want to have a gun, so the gun education is not necessary for them. However, gun owners think that everyone needs a gun education because gun owners use a gun many times and they think that people in general should know something about a gun just in case, even if they don't have to have a gun. People need same understanding of gun safety because our society allows gun usage and gun ownership. According to the two interviewees, the gun education is very necessary, but it is not enough. Ms. Wisniewski and Ms. Fabry said,
And I had about an hour and a half to 2 hours worth of training to go shoot a gun on a firing range, and yes, everything was supervised and they taught me what I needed to know, but that one moment in time would not have been enough for me to be able to feel comfortable having a gun in my own private possession.
Yes, they should have security checks and they should have background checks and that kind of stuff, which in our present day seem to not be too thorough enough.
Finally, based on my public opinion poll, the results show that more than 90% of responders think that the Second Amendment is important, but there are still some arguments with how it is implemented because of safety and gun control. There are a lot of issues related to the Second Amendment, but the Second Amendment is what we need now and also for future.